If there's such a thing as a wild ride in gem cutting, this is it. G'day and welcome to Black Opal Direct. My name's Justin. Well, last week we were up at the opal mining fields and I took you on a bit of a tour of how we get our opal from the miners. And I have this little piece here that is looking really promising. It was really a high risk stone, and it still is because I haven't tried to cut it. But we're going to have a go today and hopefully it cuts something really nice. Now, it has some potch showing, but I'm not sure if the potch is actually going to be right across the stone to give it a nice black back. There's so many risky unknowns in this piece that I don't know until we've cleaned all that sand off around the edges. All I do know is there's some really nice green and blue color on one side, and on the other side there is a tiny little hint of green color showing up. So that tells me that the color bar does go right through, but whether it's clean or not is a totally different question. So we're going to have to do some cleaning up of the piece first on the wheel to see what happens where and how it works. But from the money I paid for it to what it is super high risk. But if I can get 3 to 4 carats, if I get more, I'm winning. But 4 carats in this type of color, I think I might be breaking even. So we'll see what happens. It's a real risk and I am very nervous. So I hope I don't do my dough, and this is going to be a challenge, that's for sure. So let's get on that wheel and start cleaning this up. Alrighty, so here is where the big risk starts. Whether that green shows right through the sand, I just don't know. So I won't know until I start to grind around. And so I'm going to start by taking the sand off around those edges and see what happens from there. So let's get the wheel going. Get a little bit of water on the wheel. So I need to take this really slow because we're talking a lot of money here. Alright, so you can see that there's colour showing up there, which is a good sign. The colour's only thin right there so far. So we're hoping that colour bar does open up inside there a bit more. I've decided this time to take you through the whole process nice and slow, so no fast forwarding, and you get to see exactly what I'm thinking and doing. So it's not looking great so far. But that is very nice colour. You can see there's a bit of chaff pattern in there and flagstone, rolling flash. So while the colour bar is thick on that side, it starts going thin on that side. With all that sand is very worrying. And what I'm hoping is further inside, that sand will turn into potch. That's the goal. Looking at the stone at the moment, it really is not looking good. There is so much sand all over this piece that I actually didn't think it would produce hardly anything. It was so stressful. I just couldn't believe that I paid this much money for all that sand. What am I going to do? I guess there's no turning back now anyway. Doubting myself and my experience is really not going to do me any good. So I really need to just use my knowledge I have and just go for it. Just very carefully. Come on, sand. Off you go. The sand is a bit challenging. This sand really needs to turn from sand to potch. It doesn't look good so far. Wow, what does look promising though is that little glint there of orange coming through. If that shows up in the rest of the stone, then that will be a total game changer. So let's just hope. So this is one of those pieces that I really need to just stop and study and take my time with, because we started at 30 carats and it's not looking like we're going to get much more than about 3 carats by the looks of it. And 3 carats is at a push. So I'm a little bit distressed or stressed about this. If it can turn a little bit more orange on the top if I face it and it does come clean, then we're going to be okay, but not making lots of profit. The pattern is really quite nice, it looks, but I don't know how it's going to look faced. So this is all still up in the air, and I've had to stop on the wheel and really study it quite a lot. Stick the flashlight through it. I can see that there's some blotches inside there, so I don't know whether that's potch or whether it's actual sand inside the color bar as well. And one potch piece edge comes down on an angle, so it's really tough to try and figure out what to do with it, but I think I need to clean it up a little bit more to get a better idea about this piece. But it is one of those tough ones. Wow. If that colour starts showing up all over, then we're pretty happy. But I don't have high hopes for it to stay like that. What's about to happen, it will feed my family for the next year. Wow. So it's coming a little bit orange there, a little bit of orange there. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Look at that colour coming through. Just keep going. I can't believe the actual colour showing through on this piece. Well, all it was doing is showing green, mostly green and blue from the side, and now it's facing orange. So the challenge now is to get all that clean. If that comes clean, we're in a totally different ball game. And yeah, this is way stressful, because I just don't know if it'll come clean. Oh my goodness. So see this sand here goes in and hits the potch. Now I need all of that to disappear in order for me to get a decent stone out. And if that doesn't come out, then I'm in a bit of trouble. So that's what I'm banking on, is that coming out. Trying to roll out that last bit of sand. Oh my goodness. Look at that colour. Come on, you can come clean. Oh wow. Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous. That was stressful. That was a high pressure piece, and I never expected that goldy orange red. Oh my goodness. I think we're on a winner. Oh, what? Look at that colour. Oh my goodness me. Get a load of that. Oh. Now the pressure's off. It's clean. I can't believe it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now I can just go for the biggest stone I can possibly get. That is magnificent. So this is one of those very rare times that opal can look okay or look like it's going to be nice, and then turns out to be out of this world. And that's what happens sometimes, and it's very rare that green blue turns to orange and red. And some knobbies do that and some knobbies don't. It's very rare to happen, but it does happen, and when it does, it's a game changer for value. When that orange and that red comes into a stone, there is such a difference, and we have hit the jackpot with this stone. I did pay a lot of money and took a lot of risk, and the reward is awesome. We're going to do very well out of this stone now, and would you believe it, it's actually still 14 carats as it is, so we could be looking at a decent profit and size stone. So I am blown away, and when things like this happen, it's rare, but this is what makes it all worthwhile. And I just count my lucky stars that this piece turned out, because there were blobs inside that I thought were no good, and I thought that they were going to bring this stone down to around about a 2 carat stone. And oh my goodness, were we wrong? Or my hunch on purchasing it was right, but my doubts, my feelings inside were just not 100% on this piece. I just didn't know. It was really a big gamble, and it's really paid off, and I am super duper happy. So I'm going to shape this up now into a nice pleasing shape, and we're going to go through the process of polishing this absolute beauty. So happy. So I've just been studying this stone, and on re-evaluating it, we are not out of the woods yet. So if I turn this light off and I shine my flashlight in there, I'll show you that there is a big blob. You can see that potch right there. That big blob of potch I cannot run into with that colour, otherwise that colour is going to disappear. So we cannot take it too far down, otherwise we're going to lose all of that colour there. So I have to be super careful. But onward and upward, let's get going again. While I shape this gem to its final resting shape and prepare it for the polish, I reflect back on what it's just put me through. My heart stopped about 14 times and my nervous bladder made me get up and down a lot. But the risk to reward is pretty amazing. Caution: do not try this at home without a big set of gambling muscles or being prepared to lose it all, because it can and does happen 90% of the time. But what can help you is having the knowledge to choose the right pieces so that there's less chance, less risk, and more experience involved. But even still, this gem had me begging for mercy. We have our magnificent gem, and it's time for us to cut it. So I need to just find myself a really appropriate dop stick, which needs to be quite large because it's 7 carats now, and we'll get some fresh wax. Now that I've got it to a nice rub, 95% of the pressure is gone. I can see what I've cut and I'm ready to polish it. So really, there's not much more risk to go, except for to enjoy the process. So we finished this beautiful gem. What an absolute ripper of a journey this one's taken me on. It is just beautiful. There was no problems. It just seemed to have cut perfectly to what I wanted it to do. And the colors and the patterns in it are insane. I'm telling you, it's got cat's eye pattern. It's got chaff pattern. It's got the makings of script pattern in there. It's got flagstone pattern. It's also got blue, green, and orange, almost red, but more orange. It is just a beautiful gem. Its body tone is around, without the scale, I would say it's around about an N2, and the brightness is a 5. It is just a gorgeous top gem. I've won the lottery this week, I really have. Anyway, I've got the scales right here. I'm going to weigh it. 6.42 carats. Wow, 6.42. That's a good size gem. Really happy. Let's get the calculator. 6.42 times 6,000 a carat. It's worth 6,000 a carat. That's a $38,000 gem. Oh my goodness. Now that was one of the biggest risk stones I've taken in a long time. And my goodness, did it pay off. I think this gem is worth celebrating. This one's made my day. Absolutely made my day.